out of all the millennial shows that came out during my time in high school, I did enjoy Adventure Time. I did. Even when everyone thought it was just a silly, wacky, mysterious world of a boy and his dog going on adventures in the land of Ooh. And people really enjoy it when they discovered truths about it turns out it was a freaking Earth. What happened after a nuke hit it, the Great Mushroom War. It ended up becoming a magical, like, Fallout, you can say. If Fallout had full of magic. And it was very fascinating to watch. Watch more about the origins of the world, the creatures, Finn and Jake's destiny, and all that. And you'll see other stories. It became so big that you start having spin-offs of other stories of the other characters and even new ones. It was very interesting. And when it ended, people enjoyed the ending. Then it continued on. And it had its own side stories, seeing what happens beyond and what happens to Finn and Jake at the end, Marceline and Princess Bubblegum. And then now we have Fionna and Cake. First season of Fionna and Cake I actually enjoyed. It was very interesting. There are some things I didn't care for, but it was still interesting. Seeing the parallel world of Fionna and Cake, who they are, as they were in an original world, a world of no magic or no chaos, just a normal average day in New York. And Fionna seems to be a girl who just can't seem to get things together. Father feels like she should be part of something bigger, according as well of Cake, the cat, which was the cat who seems as that as well, despite us not understanding what she was thinking. But then certain events happen thanks to Simon in the Land of Ooh, him feeling unsatisfied, wanting some sort of power back, causes a very interesting adventure that happens with Fiona and Cake. As they travel not just the world of Ooh, but different timelines and dimensions, seeing all the outcomes that could have happened or did happen. Some of them kind of creep me out. And then one thing I understand is each world Fiona went to, I understood this to this season, which is season 2, that each world Fiona went to, she caused a lot of mess. She kind of made things worse, in a way. And never really fixed what happened to those worlds, but was able to save hers, causing her world to have some form of fantasy towards the end. She becomes a hero, and people see her in a different kind of light. Kate gets powers and able to talk like Jake, and now feels like she is part of something bigger as well. End of story. Here comes season 2. Season 2 is a lot more simplified, and I'm interested, but yet most of it I just don't like. I don't like it because mainly Fiona and Cake. That's right. From season 1, I enjoyed their adventure, but in season 2, it felt so uninteresting and kind of just cringe all around and stuff. So, in the Land of Ooh is where people are more invested in what's happening in the story. Finn is injured, is on the verge of dying. Princess Bubblegum, Marceline, and Simon are finding any method to cure him, while Huntress goes on her way to go find her own method to do it, which leads her to all sorts of crazy stuff that's happening. And on the other side, you have Fiona, who's trying to save their sweet spot from being bought out. So she had to make up a ton sons of money in a short period of time, and she tries to find all other kinds of methods. But the girl is too much in heat. I'm like, she's always constantly trying to think about who wants to make out with her. Well, mainly just two people, really. One is an ex-boyfriend, and one is some, I guess, some groundskeeper and everything. And it's cringe. It's cringe. I don't care. It's like every time she tries to do something, she screws it up over and over again. And mainly because she's too focused on other things that are not that important. Well, Cake finally gets what she wanted, but is still unsatisfied because once again she's trying to discover now who she is again. Which is weird because she wanted to have these powers to talk and do things like Jake this entire time. She got some, and now she wants to know what she is. She, for some reason, is unsatisfied with the things that she asked for the entire time. You know, She's surprised that everyone wants to see a talking, stretching kitty all the time. Put her on TV shows, kids saying to put her on performances. You kind of asked for this. You got the attention you wanted, but what you thought what everyone else wanted when you became a supernatural cat cake, it makes no sense, you know? So she's just trying to, just help out, whether it's Huntress, Fionna, or someone else, and even to the point where she tries to save the sweet spot herself, and she actually does a pretty good job. And what does Fiona does when she finds out everyone can do things just right without her? She causes a dude to kind of forces herself onto a dude and destroys part of the sweet spot. He just ruins everything because it's jealousy. She wants to have a piece to belong, to have all these things, to be nice and everything. Through her doing, she wants to feel like that she can be a, a Finn in a way, but she's not succeeding in being a Finn. She sucks at being a Finn because she is not a Finn. She may be another version of Finn, but she is not Finn. She is Fionna. And she spends most of her time just screwing over everybody around her, letting everybody down, doing things that no one asked her to do, but she does it anyways, and it's just annoying as I don't know what. Or you have Cake trying to find out what she is after asking for what she wants. I guess it's one of those things is be careful what you wish for. Nothing bad happened to her when she wished for it. She got exactly what she wanted, but I guess it's not what she really needed. She needed a true thing where she's actually disgustingly perving out to this dude who's a freaking furry, by the way. Like, oh my gosh. The writing in this story, in this season, was cringe. And apparently, someone who originally worked on this series didn't work on it this time. And I guess you can freaking tell. It is god awful. Like, my goodness. Like, some cringe ass millennial moments. You know, we may say that the boomers ruined the economy for the world, but we could all safe to say that the millennials ruined entertainment. We ruined entertainment, man. I'm not saying I did, but my gosh, the people who got in control of these entertainment industries ruined it, man. Beyond imaginary. It's not just Adventure Time. It's tons of shows. Imagine having shows that existed before you were born, with legacies bigger than life itself. These shows and icons were known for years, but then the millennials got their hands on it and they ruined the show to put it for the modern audience. And now it's just terrible. Whereas to the point where even game franchises and TV shows were closed down and may never be seen ever again. Imagine that. Imagine a person who created a form of legacy for years before you were born. It comes out, it's successful, but then it gets its hands on someone who is unworthy of touching it, and now it's gone. It's gone because it was so bad and no one likes it, man. We're never gonna get another Saints Row. Teen Titans Go, I didn't really have a problem with, but the fact that it's been existing for over 10 years now, it irks me very much, so badly and stuff. And almost everything that these people make feel like it's ADHD on crack all the time, with the weird, terrible, simplified drawings and the constant screaming and stuff. It's just like, this is what kids are watching today. It seems terrible. Nothing is serious. Everything is wacky and crazy, and despite it being for a mature audience with the cursing and the killing and the Fionna Cake Adventure Time, it feels not so interesting at the end of the day. Everyone was interested in the Huntress and her origin story, the origin story of the owl, and everything else that's going on in the world of Ooh. And a lot of people thought that they're really going to screw Finn over. They think this because Finn seems to be always screwed over since, I don't know, ever and stuff. And it's just been sad to watch. He could never seem to be in himself in a good relationship no matter what. The writer will always find some way for him to screw it up or force him to screw it up, which a lot of people believe. And so when Huntress is going out her entire way trying to find a way to save Finn, like, everyone thought that Fionna and Huntress were have a thing and stuff, and like no, that didn't happen. But Fionna did seem to have found a thing with some other chick to her ex-boyfriend. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like it's just pattern method that millennials love to do when it comes to lesbians. It's like you can't be lesbians in a millennial's eye unless you are straight first. You go through bad relationships through a guy, and that's the only way you can become a lesbian for a lesbian in entertainment today. That's the only way. You can't just start off just liking girls. Nope. You gotta go through some guys, then screw it up, and then okay, I like girls now. Out of the blue. Just out of the blue. No thought about it, nothing. It just happened. It just happened. And I've seen it so many times. This repetitive writing is terrible. Then the thing with Marshall Lee, man, I didn't care for poor little Marshall Lee. I didn't. I get the thing is that mom just wanted to have a son that was just obedient and stuff, and where she can look down on because she didn't try to teach him to do anything, but the boy didn't cry or feel he just felt down all the time, which I get, but he never really stood up for himself the entire time, and he could have used his inheritance actually to do something with it if he cared so much about it. If he was smart enough, but unfortunately, that's not the way millennials think. It's just abandon your family, screw your inheritance and stuff. Just abandon your family and be a freaking bum and stuff. Don't use that inheritance to make things better by putting up with it and then sweeping it right under the rug for them. See, that's what a Gen X or a Boomer would have done. They would have played the game and then take the inheritance away from their parents as they get older to succeed them and do something about nope, I gotta cry like a little baby and be a bum. I think that one of the problems with us millennials is that we're so focused on pursuit of happiness but not our own survival. That makes us avoid all forms of common sense or actual strategy to be financially successful, unfortunately. And it sucks. It really does that a lot of us think that way. I've always been about my survival more than anything, so I don't really had that problem. Like, survive first, then your dreams can come later when you get yourself stable and know what you're doing in life, you know? And most of the time, that's in your 30s. You pass when you're in your 20s, you're going through life, you know what you're doing, but when you're in your 30s, you kind of understand what's happening in the world, and you should, by the way, and then you start doing things. But other than that, nah, man, I didn't care for Marshall Lee's thing or his boyfriend. His problem was what? No one cooked for him, but it seemed like he didn't want anyone cook for him, so didn't really care about that either. Like I said, everything only mattered in the land of Ooh, what was going on with everybody in the land of Ooh. Princess Bubblegum realizing she's going too far and realized that her methods caused her to be inhumane, but she was never really human in the first place. So the fact that she even acts sentient of human-like is pretty amazing in my opinion. But realizes, yeah, she needs to stop and gave the crown to the Peppermint Boy. He's not evil no more, so don't worry if you watch the spin-offs. But yeah, at the end of the day, Finn finally does end up with someone, so he doesn't die miserable and alone, which everyone was afraid that was going to happen. It's like, geez, Finn does be with Huntress, which was nice. Fionna and Kate. Kate is in some other dimensional plane of some cosmic worm, and Fionna and them are just enjoying themselves. Got the sweet spot back. Good for them. She confessed to her crimes and wants to apologize and make amends, which she did. So there's still that. She amends herself. She was in the wrong. We admit that. But she never felt like a hero at all in this show. But I guess that was the point. I guess I was trying to drive home that Fionna is no Finn. She's her own person. She can't do things that Finn does, despite how badly she wants it. And just be there for her friends. Okay, I get the message, but it was just so cringe and hard to watch this entire time. And will it get season 3? Who freaking knows? All I'm saying is just, I think this Rebecca Silverman person needs to return to the office. Gosh dang, this was terrible. So, way a downgrade from season 1, all the way down. And if this does get season 3, Rebecca Silverman, whoever you are, please come back. Oh god. So anyways, that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrownxox on the Madman. Signing out.